I spent $0 on this entire front porch makeover that we are going to see in just a minute. You guys know, I know you're probably wondering, how in the heck did he redo his entire front porch for $0? Well, I'm going to tell you, every time I do a shopping haul, I talk about an app called Fetch Rewards. And if you're familiar with Fetch Rewards, then you already know what I'm talking about. Fetch Rewards is an app that you can download, and every time you go shopping, all you do is scan your receipts, and then eventually you earn enough points from those scanned receipts that you can then redeem those points for gift cards. And I was able to use all of my receipts from all of my shopping hauls and also from my referrals from people like you, and I was able to redeem almost $600 worth of Amazon gift cards, and that is what I did my entire front porch with. So let's get started, because the first thing we have to do is clear off all of this stuff, and I gotta do it with the broken wing here. All right, you guys, now that I have the front porch all cleaned up, I wanted to go ahead and tell you what I was able to get with my Fetch Rewards gift cards. There's an airplane flying above, so hopefully you don't hear a lot of that, but I was able to get quite a few things. Now, my furniture I'm gonna be keeping on my front porch, but I wanted to revamp it with a new rug. I wanted a new fountain. I wanted a new piece for the wall that's here behind me, and I also wanted some new pillows, and I was able to get all of that again with Fetch Rewards. And then I also had enough left over to get a new plant stand for the side of the porch here. Typically I had this kind of rustic looking cart, and unfortunately it is rusted to the point of no return. So I'm going to be replacing that with this plant stand. So now let's get started loading everything in here. So the first thing I did was wrestle with this plastic on the rug. This rug was actually shipped in this plastic, which was great. It's super heavy duty plastic. The rug came in, it's in perfect condition. It was just a little challenging to get all of this plastic off. And I definitely said a few choice words, because I, again, was trying to hold it with that left arm and cut this plastic off. But eventually, you see that I do get the plastic off, and what a gorgeous rug this is. I absolutely love the colors. It's got blue, it's got white, which are key colors on my front porch, and then of course those pops of yellow really bring in the front door color, which again, I am totally obsessed with. Now, this part you guys are going to love. So I always have a very bad habit of taking my pillow covers and just covering whatever pillow I'm recovering. So I literally had to take 3 different pillow covers off of my outdoor pillows in order to get these new pillow covers on, because they were just too thick at that point. And trying to do this with one arm, by the way, or 1.5 arms or 1 3/4 arms, is not easy. So yeah, you saw me at one point kind of use my teeth to help like pull some of that, and it was ridiculous. And the voiceover of this, the reason why I'm voicing this over, is because it was ridiculous. The grunts and the growls and the ow, my arm hurts, and ouch and ooch and owls. It was just way too much. So I had to just kind of dub this over and let you guys know. But I love those pillow cases that I got, or those pillow covers, just kind of flattening them out right now and making sure. But the white background of those pillows was, all those pillow covers would have shown through. So I had to cover these or uncover them to cover them, if that makes sense. Now, I was also able to accessorize my front porch a little bit with this cute, adorable little bird that I picked up from Amazon, and also this faux snake plant. I really loved the pops of color. I loved how the bird kind of blends in with the blues and, you know, the rug and everything. And again, these were all purchased with those Fetch Rewards. You may remember this DIY project that I had. This was a Goodwill find and a Goodwill flip. I'm going to include that and put it down on that lower level. Now, a lot of you may have vinyl siding like I do on my house, and you may remember I mentioned I was going to be hanging something kind of in this white space behind me. You can find vinyl siding hooks on Amazon, and these are great because all they do is slip right into the vinyl siding, and they have different weight limits. This is only like a 5-pound weight limit, but it's going to be perfect for the metal piece that I'm going to be hanging on the wall there behind me. So let's just go ahead and install it because it's really, really, really easy. Told you it was easy. And then we're going to be doing this blue sunshine. That way. Move it over just a little bit. And boom. Now, my little front porch oasis here is almost done. I did add that yellow blanket that I also did get from Amazon with those fetch reward points. This is the fountain I was telling you about. I absolutely love this fountain and I love the sound of it. It is so peaceful. Some plants. So I did go to Home Depot and I grabbed a cart full of some different things, and I came home and tried to plant some of this. I did have a friend help me. My Mr. Disco Ball there is all decked out and ready to go. That did come from Amazon also. And then for the hanging baskets on either side of my steps, I added these yellow flowers. And then for the step itself, I wanted something white and very simple. And then I added this great palm tree instead of that plant stand that I mentioned earlier. And this is what my new peaceful front porch looks like. I am in love with this. I love the way it looks. And I think even this little guy is really loving it also. You guys, for this first project, we are going to be making a sign for my front porch. Now, for any of you that watched my outdoor kind of front porch renovation video that I had, I guess it was last week, several of you made fun of my little packages sign because it was definitely handmade, and that little sign has been out there forever. It's just a way for the UPS and FedEx and post office to hide packages. Well, I'm going to make one that is a little nicer here, and just painted up a board, added some vinyl lettering from my Cricut Joy that just says packages. This is very, very easy to do. If you don't have a cutting machine, you could certainly use paints. We are going to just add this vinyl to it. This, by the way, is the permanent vinyl from Cricut. And I did also add this arrow, kind of directing those packages to be hidden in the back, kind of by the chair behind the chair. I simply just added some twine, and this packages sign has now been updated to this one. Now you can't see this sign from the street, so this kind of works out perfectly. To take 3 bags of this floral garland that I picked up from Dollar Tree. When I saw this, I knew immediately what I wanted to do with it because I had purchased this clear umbrella when I was in Daiso about a month or so ago in San Francisco. Now, you can buy these types of clear umbrellas a lot of different places. I've seen them at Walmart, I've seen them at Target. This one was $1.75 and it was too good to pass up, and I knew I needed to do something with it when I bought it, but I wasn't exactly sure. Now, this floral garland, this is fantastic. This is so cute. It's really well made. The only thing I would caution you on is when you are going to start taking it apart, rather than just pulling the thread here, I would cut those off individually, because that thread is more or less the stitching that is holding kind of these 2-piece sets together. And you could certainly pull the thread out if you wanted to. You could go back in with some hot glue. And if you can't find this garland anywhere, I would definitely grab some felt from Dollar Tree and just freehand some flowers and just enjoy making the flowers that you're going to put onto your clear umbrella. So I am just going to very patiently work my way through all 3 bags of these garland pieces, and I'm just kind of cutting them off and then just kind of trimming really close to where the thread is and making sure that I've got all of those thread pieces gone. Now, the thread that's kind of going down the center of the flower for those kind of 2-piece sets, don't even worry about it. I think it looks cute, and I think it makes it look like it is stitched onto the umbrella when we're all said and done with this. So after lots and lots of time, you are going to have lots and lots of very cute flowers and leaves. And now it is time to have fun. So we're going to go ahead and scoot all of these out of the way, and we are going to position our umbrella on top of our workstation while trying to film. And it's a very tight space here. So this is going to be very, very awkward, but this is also a good time for me to remind you to like and subscribe and all the things to the channel. That really helps me out a lot. And I love to bring you guys more and more projects. So as you can see here, now I've got the umbrella somewhat positioned, and I'm just using hot glue on this. The hot glue was not too hot. I did a medium temperature, and I just used a regular all-purpose glue for this, and it worked out just fine. I'm using Shore Bonders, just kind of regular Shore Bonder glue, and again, it worked fantastic. Now, the flowers, I originally started sticking them on by themselves, and then I added some leaves to some, and then I added some without leaves, and I just kind of did a mishmash of it. I think if I were to do this again, I would do the leaves individually and separate from the flowers. That way, they would kind of give this full coverage effect. But the good thing about all of those bags of garland that I had, they worked out to where I had just enough of each flower color on each section of the umbrella. So it kind of worked out great. And as you can see, as I'm kind of working myself around, I've got more and more flowers that are popping up everywhere. And this turns out just so cute. Now, I have a really good friend who is pregnant right now, and she is pregnant with a little girl, and she's doing all flowers and, you know, like rabbits and like garden stuff and things like that in the nursery. And so I thought that this would be perfect. And she actually wants to turn this into a mobile for her, is it mobile? In the nursery, and I think that is just so cute. She's not going to hang it over the crib because it is kind of a larger umbrella, but she's going to hang it in the corner that's going to be kind of under the rocking chair, which I think is so sweet. So more to come there. Hopefully I will get some pictures of that and we'll be able to share those with you. So now that you've got everything done, boom, you've got the cutest and clearly I'm very happy with it, umbrella. That is so fun. You could totally wear this to a festival. You could wear it to the park. I say wear it because it's kind of like an accessory, right? You've got all these bright colors. You might as well deck yourself out and have a good time doing it. So this next DIY was actually inspired by a birdhouse that I saw at Home Depot. So I grabbed this birdhouse for $5 from Dollar Tree in their kind of Dollar Tree Plus section. And then I have some reindeer moss here. I want to point out something to you. There's 2 different packages of reindeer moss. You would think that the one on the left is bigger just based on the packaging, but check out the sizing. Even though it's just slightly different, that is something to note. And I actually like the color of the one on the left a little bit better, but yeah, the more you know. I took my birdhouse outside and I spray painted it brown. This is actually a gloss brown color that's called leather, and I didn't want a leather birdhouse, but I did want a brown birdhouse, and this was the only brown that I had, so I just went with that one. So if you're wondering, you know, specifically like what color this is by Rust-Oleum, and I really do love the color of it, and I'm looking forward to using this brown leather spray paint for something else other than this birdhouse, which we're going to be completely covering up very soon here. So I went ahead and did a couple coats of that paint, and then when it's all done, you've got something that looks like this. Now, it is time to start covering this birdhouse, and we are going to completely cover this in this reindeer moss. Now, I ended up using about 2.5 packages, and I'm also using this tacky glue that I picked up when I think I went to Hobby Lobby, and maybe it was even from Michael's. But anyway, you're going to take this outside because this is going to be a mess, and you're going to get a cardboard box or something. I've just got an old banker's box here, and you're going to shake up your glue first of all so it doesn't glob like that, but that's okay. It's going to help stick the moss. You're going to just cover your birdhouse. You're going to do this one side at a time. The only side that I did not do was the very bottom of the birdhouse, and we'll kind of talk about that later on. But the moss, you are literally just taking this reindeer moss and you are just going to be gluing this down. Now this is it's not really a tedious process. Do not worry about getting it nice and flat, because as you will see coming up, we will be kind of giving this guy a little bit of a haircut. But you are literally just going to cover, and when I say cover, I do mean cover this in this reindeer moss. And the great thing about doing it in a box like this is that you can also kind of pick up any of the residual reindeer moss that might kind of, fall out, just like I did there. How about timing for that? And you're just going to continue to stick this on top of any of that wood surface. Now, I completely covered all of the sides of this except for the bottom of this. And I originally was not going to do the roof, but then decided to also cover the roof. So this is completely covered in reindeer moss. And when it's all done, it's going to kind of look like Cousin It. It's going to look like this. Now, this is not really cute, but we are going to give it a haircut, and we're going to start to define some of those spots on the birdhouse. So you can actually see the shape of the birdhouse, and it's literally just taking a pair of scissors and just start trimming away. Think about all those eaves and all the points of the roof. You're going to make sure that you're getting all of those areas nice and trimmed and cut until it looks like this. Now, I did want my birdhouse to be able to stand up on its own, so I found this old porch railing that I picked up at a local reclaim store. It was $2. Then I have this sign from Dollar Tree that's kind of that MDF wood, and it's called Happiness is Homemade, which I thought was kind of perfect for this. Now, for the base here, the sign is going to serve as the base for my birdhouse. I'm actually just going to remove the price tag there, and then we're just going to drill a hole in the center of this. That way I have a nice pilot hole for my screw, which I am going to then also screw into the base. That way it holds everything up right onto that porch finial that we grabbed. Now, this is kind of an awkward moment because of just the setup and the size of this, but I wanted my kind of base of the birdhouse to have that kind of woodland touch, like it's something that's been growing. So I had this trailing vine, this ivy garland that I picked up from Dollar Tree, and all I did was just staple this onto the back using my staple gun, and then I just wrapped this up around. Now, at the top of my finial, it was not a smooth surface, and I didn't have the proper tool to go ahead and just cut that out, so I just added some hot glue and then just glued my birdhouse directly on top of it. This is what it looks like before I put it outside on the front porch. I really, really love this. I think it's so cute. It is the perfect welcome for my front porch. I love the color. I love how organic it looks. I love that brown that's popping out to make it look like it's really something that's been just kind of sitting outside and building up some age over time. I'm obsessed with this project.